Asa, I subscribe to your channel because I generally like your videos. I really do. But this response to Josh Howard makes no fucking sense. Now, the mentality that you should leave if you don't like this country is completely unproductive. And I'll tell you why. Because, like, think of it this way. What's leaving gonna do? I could go to Canada at any point, never have to worry about healthcare, wouldn't have to worry as much about crime, wouldn't have to worry about, you know, various taxes, you know, stuff like that. Maybe even more representation within the Canadian government. But I'm not gonna leave. And I'll complain about it as much as I want to. But you telling me to leave, that's not really doing anything. Instead, you should be telling people maybe you should do something about it. Maybe you should get involved with your government. Maybe you should, like, try to organize your community and change the community. You know, instead of saying, oh, you're complaining, well, you should get out. I mean, that's not a good argument. It's not very supportive of new ideas. I mean, fuck the national anthem makes a lot of sense, because the national anthem really is more an expression of this kind of white, chauvinistic, you know, religious government we have that's kind of, oh, and racist, by the way, that's kind of fucking everything up, you know? I mean, I don't like to sing the national anthem. I mean, it's really an expression of war, if anything else, you know? So, what's wrong with that? And second of all, I mean, you really should brush up on your history, okay? Because the African people were never slaves. They were never, ever slaves. They were enslaved, but they were never slaves. Slaves implies that they were completely complacent, completely submissive, totally willing to do whatever they were told. But enslaved means that they were put in the position of slavery. See, the Africans never said, hey, let's just be slaves for Americans. No, they were stolen from Africa and then brought here. And never at any point did they decide, you know what, this is my life. You know, so the liberation of enslaved Africans had nothing to do with individuals that just, quote-unquote, smarter individuals that decided that it wasn't right. Every African knew that it wasn't right because they were getting raped, they were getting killed, they were being separated from their loved ones. What the fuck, man? Come on. There are historical records of enslaved mothers that killed their children rather than to see them become enslaved. I'm sorry, is that not a smart enough rebellion for you? I mean, you talk about, you know, Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass and all those, yes, they are figureheads in the enslaved African liberation, but there are also many other cases of rebellion that were a little less subtle, like for example, poisoning your master, or feigning ignorance in terms of doing a certain task, saying, I can't do this, you know, I don't know how to do it. Feigning laziness, feigning illness, you know, stuff like that. There are plenty of examples that didn't require people to die in order to fuck up the system of enslavement. And I don't understand how you don't know about this, and I don't understand how you kind of preach, you know, this. I don't understand your attitude towards Howard, you know, towards Josh Howard, you know, saying, what the fuck is wrong with you, you stupid idiot, when you in fact don't really know what you're talking about in this one particular instance. Maybe you're just like him and you just fucked up this one time, but come on. Do you realize that if you don't like it, you should get out is very similar to the phrase, you don't like it, go back to Africa, which was actually used by neo-Nazis and the KKK? Are you aware of that? Stop milking off a corporation that's founded, get this, in American values. See, my problem with that statement, and I really don't want to seem like this is an attack, but I just expected more, you know? American values, what are those? See, when I think of American values, I think of sexism, capitalism, racism, heterosexism, colonialism, imperialism, classism, individualism, this, so how can you blame someone for being a hypocrite when they are involving themselves in a system that they can't escape anyway? I mean, every corporation is one that inspires a competitive, individualistic drive. And the more autonomous, and the more ignorant, and the more ruthless you are, the more you'll get ahead. And he's a hypocrite for expressing his own values and opinions now. Maybe we should really look into what he was saying versus just having this knee-jerk reaction and saying, you know what, you're a fucking moron. I think he had guts to say that, quite frankly. I think that he has more guts than I do, because I don't say shit like that in public all the time. Fuck. And who gives a damn if the NBA comes out and reads a few books to the education, to the kids? The educational system in America is terrible. What the NBA should be doing is buying books for kids. Maybe supporting new programs, maybe extracurricular programs, maybe offering some new perspectives to the educational system instead of going in every now and then and reading a goddamn picture book. Who gives a damn? I mean, if you're a kid suffering over the educational system because your teachers don't know shit, no one's telling you what you need to know, and all these tests are being forced on you where you have to memorize information versus actually learn it, and then some guy comes in and reads you a book. Big fucking deal. Children these days are experiencing more stress because of schoolwork and homework and tests than ever before, and it's getting worse and worse. They're getting fucking back problems now because of all the books they're carrying. Oh, but you know what? We're gonna have an NBA star come in and talk to you about it for like maybe an hour, maybe, unless he has to go somewhere, and he's gonna tell you that you can make it, you can do it, but only if you play basketball. When Josh Howard says that the national anthem doesn't represent him, he doesn't believe in that shit, he's absolutely right. There is a black national anthem. You do know that, right? And furthermore, it goes even beyond that. And Josh Howard, black people in America have been stripped of their original philosophy, their original religion, their original spirituality, their original world view. It's been completely stripped. It's been stripped where white supremacy has tried to erase it from history. And we've done a very good job, because here you are saying, you don't like it? Get out. I mean, come on. There is an African worldview, and it can transform your life. And it can transform your life in a way that gives you a new perspective where you can analyze and critique America for the bullshit that it's making people think is reality. But it's not reality, god damn it. And now he's a hypocrite for doing so? That's crap. What do you think? That Josh Howard has made it? That he's made it in life because he's managed to be on the NBA? That you can play him on video games, therefore he's made it? That's crap. By the end of his career, he's not going to be able to take his experience and run for Senate. No one's going to take him seriously if he does that. This is going to be like a cookie. Because I started out this video saying, that I really do like your videos, Asa. And I do. I really do. But, I critiqued the hell out of you. And I really hope you pay attention, because that video was crap. So, I respect you. And congratulations on the honeymoon. And that's going to be cool. But seriously, you gotta think twice before posting this all over the internet. I mean, this just could be viewed by a lot of people, and the fact is, you don't have your facts straight. So, let's stop with that. Don't you fuck up. Okay? I don't know, I felt that if I sent you a message or I left a comment that you wouldn't necessarily get this. So I posted a video response. So there it is. Alright. No disrespect. But, yeah.